the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Okay. Take a look at right now as I'm talking to you guys right now. Just take a quick 5 seconds. Who are the 5 people that you talk to most? Think about it. Is it your mom? Is it your dad? Is it your siblings? Is it your girlfriend, your boyfriend, husband, wife? Is it your business partner? Who do you talk to most? Who are the top 5 people that you talk to the most? Now, your income is a direct reflection of the 5 people you talk to on a day-to-day basis. My mentor always told me, he said, Nano, show me your friends and I will show you your future. So you want to put yourself in environments where you're forced to grow because everybody around you is growing. You want to put yourself in environments where every person around you is smarter than you because now you have so much more to learn. Put yourself in environments where you're the brokest person in the room. Still to this day, with all the money I have and all I've been able to accomplish, I still go into rooms where I'm literally the brokest person in the room. And I have, something for myself. Not nothing crazy, because I know friends of mine that are making what I make in a month. They're making that in a day. But that's what I want. I want to be able to learn from those individuals that are making what I make in a month. They're making that in a day. These are the people I want to surround myself with. These are the environments that I want to put myself in, the environments that empower me, the environments that help me grow, the environments that are making me step out of my comfort zone every day. I'm not going to environments where people doubt me, talk negative, don't believe in themselves, are not doing what's required of them to get themselves to the next level. No, I'm putting myself in environments that are changing my situation every single day. And what I want you to know is that belief that you have right now, you have to replace it. And you have to replace it, okay, from a limiting belief to an empowering belief. Because remember, your brain doesn't know what's real or what's fake. So if you put a empowering belief into your mind that is revolved around positivity, abundance, success, wealth, inspiration, and you embrace that and you internalize that belief system, okay, it will change your life forever. Okay, because any lingering thought that you have in the back of your mind that reminds you of lack, of not having it, sadness, depression, negative feelings, that one doubt, that one thought can destroy everything. My mentor once told me, he said, Nano, a crumb of doubt can destroy a mountain of faith. I'm gonna repeat that one more time. A crumb of doubt can destroy a mountain of faith. You can't allow not even one negative thought to enter your inner matrix, right? You can't allow it. And it's very important that you guys truly understand that because look, I've been able to completely change my belief system to a system now that allows me to attract and manifest all the amazing things that I want in my life. And the way I was able to do it was by every day working on these 3 things right here, the triangle of belief. Number 1, the words that I spoke and the words that I heard. Okay. Number 2, the images that I looked at. And number 3, the emotions that are created by the environment that I put myself in. Those things changed everything for me because those emotions that I would feel when I put myself in those environments was what changed everything for me. That uncomfortable feeling, you got to embrace that because the only way you can grow is if you're uncomfortable. Putting myself in environments where people make more money than me changed everything for me because it made me feel comfortable now and it made me feel good that I was in the right path towards success and that I had friends now that were going to help me change my life because now, like I said before, show me your friends, show you your future. All my friends now are multimillionaires. They're married, they're successful, they travel the world. So guess what? My future is looking pretty bright now. But it was because I put myself in those environments. So take these three things and apply them immediately, guys. And give yourself 3 to 6 months applying and pouring massive information into this triangle of belief, and watch what happens to your future over the next few months, family. I appreciate you guys so much for listening to this. I hope that I was able to provide you guys with as much information and as much value as I could, because I'm telling you, these three things, this triangle of belief, was what helped me, okay, get through that hard moment, right? Remember what I said. The easiest thing you're gonna do is hit 6, 7 figures, but the hardest thing you're gonna do is believe you can do it. The way you improve that belief is by working on these three things right here, the triangle of belief, every day. Just know that I believe in you. I know you're gonna do it. I know you're gonna take it up to the next level. So with that being said, my name is Nano. I appreciate you all. I love you all, and I hope you guys all have an incredible rest of your day. God bless. Thank you for listening to Mornings with Nano. I would really appreciate it if you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and leave a comment below on how Mornings with Nano has brought value to your life. Also, I would really appreciate if you guys follow me on Instagram at Long Live Nano, Neno, so I can get you guys plugged into my morning mastermind at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. Remember, guys, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the top, because the bottom is way too crowded. All right, guys, let's get started with today's call. Let me set this up right here. All right, we are ready to go. What's up, familia? Grand rising. Happy Tuesday. It is August 12th. My name is Nano. I am your host on today's morning call, and I am so blessed and so excited to be on this call with all of you. I hope all of you are feeling really blessed and really excited and just took the time to pour into yourselves. Real quick, as you guys know, I want to know who did their morning routines this morning. Put a 222 in the chat if you poured into yourself this morning, if you made yourself a priority this morning. Give me a 222 in the chat. Just want to see who's been doing the work. I like to see who does the work, right? That's the most important work right there, that morning work. And if you can't do it in the morning, guys, please make it a priority to do it at some point in the afternoon as well, or in the night before you go to bed, because honestly, it's one of those things that is really needed in order for you to get yourself to where you want to go to in life. You know, that these are the things that have really allowed me to grow in ways that I never thought I would. But thank God it has worked out for me. So I wanted to, you remember me back in the Trump's house both. Yeah, what's up, bro? What's up, TJ? How you doing? My brother Paulie was goody G. Love to see you, bro. Love to see it. Love to see it. All right, guys. Well, welcome to Mornings with Nano YouTube edition and Instagram edition. As you guys know, I go live 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, usually around 10:15, 10:30 a.m. And what I basically do, guys, I do morning mindset, motivation, leadership. I do Bible study. I do a little bit of everything. And my purpose behind, running these calls is I just want to give value. I want to wake people up to becoming better versions of themselves in all areas, not just mentally, but spiritually, emotionally, financially, and all areas of people's lives. And I've been doing these calls now for 6.5 years, and I'm super blessed and grateful that I get a chance to, share these calls with all of you guys. We have hundreds and hundreds of people that jump on. We have hundreds that jump on live. There's hundreds that watch after. So I'm always blessed and grateful to share the lessons with all of you, and always looking forward to give you guys a new lesson on what I've learned here today. Today I'm going to be teaching from the Bible. Every week I teach at least once or twice from the Bible, because there's just so much to learn from the Bible. And I want you guys to know that I do it with respect. So whatever you guys believe in, there's just so many amazing stories and so many amazing lessons and wisdom that you can learn from the Bible that a lot of individuals can really get a lot of impact from. And, if you know me, you know that I love stories. I love parables. And today I'm going to teach from a parable that I actually have taught it about in the past, but I wanted to teach about it again because there was something about where we are as a community, where we are as a group, that I really believe that this parable could hit like heavy for us. And today's training, at the top of your paper, I want you to title Run Your Race. Run your race. And I want you guys to put this in parentheses. Rewards come from God, not from comparison. Rewards come from God, not from comparison. Now, why did I want to talk about this today? Well, you see, we live in an era where social media is big. It's a huge part of our lives. As a matter of fact, if you were to check your phone, you would realize that usually social media is taking up hours out of your day, not only on a daily basis, but on a weekly to monthly basis as well. So at this point, we can honestly all say that social media is basically a part of our lives. Now, I grew up in a different era where social media wasn't that big like it is today, but it's important that we understand this. So is that Sana that I see there with us? Smile with Sana on the call with us. Sana's an OG here with us at Mornings with Nano. Welcome, sis. It literally made my day to see you on the call today. So God bless you, sis. I'm happy to see you here. The OGs know who Sana is. So for those who don't know, Sana used to be the note takers. She used to take notes for Mornings with Nano years ago when I first started. Like, she was here when it first started, and Sana obviously was able to, get some massive promotions over the years, and she's doing great for herself. But I remember Sana used to be the one that used to take a lot of notes for all the Mornings with Nano community for years. For years she did it. I would say for at least 2 years or so before she did some bigger things and got into corporate positions and started to run big time companies and marketing agencies. So shout out to you, my sister. We love you. We appreciate you. And still, you're an OG here on these calls. I'm grateful for you. But yes, I am live on YouTube for those wondering as well. And I'm always blessed and grateful. So what I was saying was, we can all agree that social media has become a part of our lives. And because of social media, there's a lot of comparison that happens between us and other people on social media. One of my favorite quotes of all time is that comparison is the thief of all joy. Comparison is the thief of all joy. And because there's so much happening on social media, so many other people, succeeding, but there's also a lot of other people that haven't succeeded. We tend to compare our lives, our success, our way of living to other people. Very naturally, it's very natural for us to do that because I've done it. But what a lot of us don't understand is that the rewards don't come from the comparison. They come from God. And there's a parable in the Bible, in the book of Matthew. It's called the parable of the workers in the vineyard. And one of the key quotes in that parable is, "So the last will be first, and the first will be last." Type a one in the chat box if you've ever heard that parable, or if you've ever heard the quote itself. If you ever heard the quote, because I know the quote is what's most popular, right? So the last will be first, and the first will be last, right? We've all heard that, right? A lot of us, for the most part, have heard that. Now, there is a story behind it, and then there's a training that I want to give you guys along with it, because I think it's important that we understand this. I had to understand this. Like, my life changed when I understood this information right here. So I want you guys to just listen to this story, and then I have a training for us that's also going to come along with it, because there's a lot of context in the story that I need you guys all to understand. So for anyone who's wondering where this is coming from the book of Matthew. All right. And it is Matthew chapter 20, verses, if I'm not mistaken, it's chapter 20 at the top. Okay, so listen to this: the parable of the workers in the vineyard. Now, if you're on this call, like I said, I teach from the Bible with respect to whatever you believe in, obviously, but I want you to catch the lessons and the wisdom that is within this Bible and this book. So I'm gonna read the story, and then I'm gonna give you guys the lessons that you guys can get from this that'll help you guys understand why comparison is not where the reward comes from; it's the Lord that it comes from. So here's how the parable goes. For the kingdom of heaven is like a landowner who went out early in the morning to hire workers for his vineyard. He agreed to pay them in denarius for the day and sent them into the vineyard. About 9 in the morning, he went out and saw others standing in the marketplace doing nothing. He told them, "You also go work in my vineyard, and I will pay you whatever is right." So they went. He went out again about noon and about 3 in the afternoon and did the same thing. About 5 in the afternoon, he went out and found still others standing around. He asked them, "Why have you been standing around all day long doing nothing?" One of the guys responded, "Because no one has hired us," they answered. He said to them, "You also go and work in my vineyard." When evening came, the owner of the vineyard said to his foreman, "Call the workers and pay them their wages, beginning with the last ones hired and going on to the first." The workers who were hired about 5 in the afternoon came and each received a denarius, which I'm assuming is money. So when those came who were hired first, they expected to receive more. But each of them also received a denarius. When they received it, they began to grumble against the landowner. "These who were hired last worked only 1 hour," they said, "and you have made them equal to us who have borne the burden of the work and the heat of the day." But he answered one of them, "I am not being unfair to you, friend. Didn't you agree to work for a denarius? Take your pay and go. I want to give you the one who was hired last the same as I gave you. Don't I have the right to do what I want with my own money?" he said. "Or are you envious because I am generous? So the last will be first, and the first will be last." So now, let me give you guys a story from my perspective. So think about it like this. Imagine if we were all, let's say I'm the guy who's hiring workers. And it's 10 a.m. right now. I hire some of you guys. I hire Luz, I hire Yana, I hire Eunice, I hire Tia to come work for me, and I'm gonna give them a denarius. Now, real quick, so that I can get the full context of it, let me just look up what a denarius is really quick. Denarius, an ancient Roman silver coin, originally worth 10 asses. Nation. So the value of a denarius fluctuated. One biblical references the coin at the time. It was worth 1 day of labor, which is about $50 in today's money, is what they're saying. So it's a silver coin that's usually, it was worth about, a denarius is basically a silver coin. Today it's called the Bitcoin. Nah, today is definitely not called the Bitcoin because sheesh, 100,000. What, Bitcoin's at like 120 now. But just think about a silver coin. So it was worth 1 day's of work. So I take a couple of people, you guys come work for me in the field. Then throughout the day, I find another group and then I hire them to come work for me. And then towards the end of the day, I find another group and they also come work for me. So throughout the day, I had about 3 different groups. I had a group that came in the morning. I had a group that came in the afternoon, and then I had a group that came in the evening, basically towards the end of the day, an hour before I closed. And then at the end of the day, I line everybody up from from the last person I just hired about an hour ago to the first person I hired at the beginning of the day. And I basically give each and every single person a denarius, which is a silver coin, which is and understanding that, this is a day's worth of work, right? Now, the people that I hired at the beginning of the day were frustrated because they're like, wait, I've been here all day. I've been here since 10 a.m. this morning. This guy just got here an hour ago and he's being paid the exact same thing. That's not fair. But what the master is, explaining to the guy is that, hey, I'm generous. Don't be envious of the way that I spend my money. You agreed to work for the silver coin, a denarius. All right. And this is where the lesson comes in. He says, so the last will be first and the first will be last. You see, this is important that we understand. Now, listen to this though. In the book that I have, it has an explanation of the story. And let me explain it to you guys so you guys can hear it here. It says, the story about the workers and their pay speaks strongly about the grace of God. No matter when we begin to follow Jesus, we receive the same amount of grace from God. They may seem unfair to some. However, God in his mercy accepts all people who turn to him for salvation. No matter how early or late in life, it doesn't matter. So this is not about money, this story. You see, a lot of us, we may think, well, Nano, is this about money? Is this about a reward? Is this about riches? But it's not about that. The story is very surface level when you hear it in the Bible. When you hear it in the Bible, you just think it's about coins. It's about a person that was hired in the morning, a person that was hired in the afternoon, and one that was hired at night or in the evening. But in reality, what the whole story is about God's grace for us, right? About when we choose to follow him. Right? It doesn't matter if somebody's been following him for 10 years or if somebody's just started to follow him. God gives his grace to each of his children the exact same way. Now, there's 4 lessons that I really valued in this. There's 4 lessons that I want to teach you guys here. Type a 4 in the chat if you guys are ready to receive these 4 lessons that I really got from today's reading, because it's a lot deeper than a lot of you guys think or understand at this moment. This is deep right here. It gets deep now. So let's talk about this. Number 1, everyone's journey starts at a different time. We need to understand that. That was the first lesson I had to understand. All of our journeys are going to start at a different time. In the parable, some workers started early in the morning, some started at noon, some started at the last hour. Yet they all got paid the same. Well, we got to understand that your path in business or in faith might start later than others, but God can accelerate your results the moment you make a decision. Have you guys ever heard the quote that says, success is one decision away? There's a reason why that happens. Have you ever seen somebody that has something called beginner's luck? Have you ever seen somebody go into the casino and for the first time they had amazing beginner's luck and they just go out and they start winning every hand they win? Or someone who starts a business for the first time and you've been at the business for years and they come in and what took you years to do, they're doing it in a couple of weeks, in a couple of days, whatever it is. I've seen it happen. So as a matter of fact, beginner's luck has been in my favor many times, as a matter of fact. And I truly do believe in that, right? Because I'm like, I've seen it so many times where people who, were not in a business, for example, come into business and for example, somebody like me, I've been in a business for many years. And I've seen people who have came into the exact same business that I'm in. And what took me years to do, they did it in weeks, sometimes in a month. So imagine that kind of, in terms of the story, you would think like, well, Nano, that sucks for you. But no, we got to understand it's like what the parable says, right? So the last will be first and the first will be last. We need to understand that. This is very, very key. God can accelerate your results for other people, even though you've been in the game longer. And guess what? You could be the one that God accelerates those results for based off of the decisions that you make. That's why you got to make a decision. You have to make decisions, because once you make a decision, God, the universe, everything around you conspires to make that reality that you want become true. Everything around you starts to move because you made a decision. Everything wakes up. All the roads align. Everything just starts to work in your favor. All the blocks, everything starts to work. You know why? Because you made a decision. You made a decision. Believe it or not, some of you haven't made that decision yet. You haven't made that decision to make that investment. You haven't made the decision to read that book. You haven't made the decision to start waking up earlier. You haven't made the decision to start to build that relationship with God. So you don't know what God's rewards are for you, because guess what? Some of us, sometimes we get too caught up in the comparison game. We get too caught up in the comparison game. Oh, but look how far this person is along. Look at how much money this person makes. Look at how much followers. Look at how viral their content is going. Why is mine not going like that? We spend more time in comparison and less time deciding what we truly want. Like Ricardo said in the chat, comparison is a thief of all joy. So we got to understand that this is what it's all about right here. Everybody's journey starts at a different time. You may start later than others, or you may start first than others, but you got to remember, God rewards, not comparison. So it's up to you to decide when you want to start that business, when you want to make that investment, when you're going to read that book, when you're going to start going to the gym. They say that the magic that you're looking for is in the work that you're avoiding. Isn't that amazing when you think about it? The magic that you're looking for, the results that you're looking for, the money that you want, all of it is in the work that you're avoiding. Is in the work that you are avoiding. You're avoiding the work. There is something that you're avoiding right now that is stopping God from blessing you the way that you've been wanting to be blessed. Maybe it's the fact that you still haven't picked up that book. Maybe it's the fact that you still haven't picked up that Bible and started to build a better relationship with the Lord. Maybe it's the fact that you haven't started going to the gym. Maybe it's the fact that you still haven't started that business. You haven't made that investment. Whatever it is, maybe it's that is stopping you from growing. We have over 100 plus people on this call right now. I want you guys to write this down. All right, I want you guys to write this question down. What work am I avoiding that's holding me back? What work am I avoiding that is holding me back? Because we are all avoiding some kind of work that is holding us back. And I don't know what it is, but I know you know. You know what work you're avoiding. It could be your morning routine. It could be your relationship with God. It could be going to the gym. It could be that book that is screaming at you from your shelves. Read me, read me, read me, read me, read me. And you still haven't read it. It could be that person that you've been scared to talk to that's going to be your next big business owner in your business. Maybe it's that event that keeps showing up on your Instagram page telling you to go to the event, go to the event, go to the event, but you still haven't bought your ticket to that event. There is something that you're avoiding that is holding you back, believe it or not. And the magic you're searching for is in that magic right there, is doing the work. I don't know what it is, but this is God using me as a vessel to message it to you right here on this call, that the magic you're searching for is in the work that you're avoiding. I could tell you guys right now, God was waiting to bless me until I started to become disciplined again with my morning routine consistently. There were books I had to read. There was Bibles I had to pick up. There were investments I had to make. And guess what? Now the doors are being opened. For some reason, I don't know how. Sometimes it doesn't even make sense how God works. But there was a lot of work that I was avoiding. And then guess what? I started doing the work. I started doing the work. I started waking up early. I started building that relationship. I started making the investments. I started going to the events. I started making the phone calls. I started doing the work that I was avoiding. And for some beautiful reason now, God is opening doors. Here you go, Nano. Here's this. This is this. This is that. You've been asking me for this. Here it is. You've been wanting this for some time. Here you go now. So the quote is right. The magic you're looking for, the results you're looking for, the blessings you're looking for is in the work that you avoid. I need you guys to really listen to me today. This is not me speaking. The Lord is speaking through me today. This is the message. There's people on this call that really need to hear this. Put a 2 in the chat box if this message is hitting home so far, because I'm only at number 1 today. There's still 3 more points I got to cover. Stop avoiding the work. Stop avoiding the work. Because here's another thing that people won't tell you is that avoiding the work is also disobedience. Avoiding the work is also disobedience. And is also a lack of faith. It's also a lack of faith. Because remember, faith is work. The way you prove your faith is by the work. So if you're not doing the work, then you lack faith. If you lack faith, you lack vision. And how does the quote say? People without vision will what? How does the quote finish? Fill in the blank for me. If you don't have vision, what happens? Nothing happens. You will perish. See how this works? So don't avoid the work, because the magic is in the work. So point number 1 is understanding that everyone's journey starts at a different time. You could listen to me, guys. Remember, think about the story. I could have been working all year long. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. I could have spent the whole year working my butt off, doing everything. And you can start today. And God could bless you in the next 2 weeks with everything that I've wanted all year for you in the next 2 weeks. Why? Because the last will be first and the first will be last. That's how it could work. I could have someone join my business today and accomplish what I've wanted to accomplish all year in the next 2 weeks to a month. Why? Because the last will be first and the first will be last. We need to keep this in mind. All right? So stop comparing yourself. Don't compare your chapter 3 to someone else's chapter 20. Just start, make the decision, and stay faithful. That's point number 1. Number 2, the reward comes from the master, not the crowd. The reward comes from the master, not the crowd. You see, the workers, they grumbled. They were frustrated because they measured their worth by human fairness instead of the master's generosity. Your blessings and the promotions, The money and everything that you want, all the rewards, they come from God's hands, not from people's approval. Keep your eyes on the mission, not on who's getting ahead of you. I need to hear that. Keep your eyes on the mission, not on who's getting ahead of you. Your blessings and your promotions and the rewards that you're looking for, they'll come from God's hands, not from people's approval. So stop focusing so much on what people have to say, on what people are going to think. People are not going to pay your bills. And you know what? People are not going to give you rewards either. When was the last time people came over to you and blessed you and gave you promotions and rewards? Please tell me that. When was the last time somebody said, hey, here you go, Ricardo. Here's the rewards and here's the blessings and here's everything that you've been wanting? I can guarantee you this never happened. It doesn't work that way. The blessings and the promotions come from God's hands, family. So why focus so much? Why focus so much on everybody else? Why put so much focus on all these people that you follow? Why put so much focus on all the people, on what they're going to say, what they're going to think? When at the end of the day, you don't need people's approval. You need God's approval. Keep your eyes on the mission, not on who's getting ahead of you. Let them get ahead of you. Let them get blessed. You know, one of the biggest lessons my mentor taught me, I'll never forget them. He said, Nano, when you see somebody else get blessed, when you see somebody else get the things that you want, you celebrate them. And I'm like, what do you mean? He said, celebrate it. Because why would you ever condemn or why would you ever hate on something that you want done for you? Do you want to be blessed? Yes. Do you want rewards? Yes. Do you want amazing things to happen to you? Yes. So then celebrate those things. Admire those things. Love those things. Because that's your way of letting God know that you're ready for the same blessing. Don't hate on somebody else because they made more money than you. Don't hate on somebody else because they got the promotion before you did. Don't hate on somebody else because they live in a better house, they're driving a better car. Be happy for them. Be excited for them. You know, one of the biggest compliments I received was from one of my brothers. You know, one of my guys, you guys probably don't know him, but I'll still mention his name. My boy Fads. He runs a clothing company now. It's called Boredom Kills. This is his hoodie from his thing. And you know, Fads is a really good friend of mine. And Fads was somebody that, you know, whenever something happened for him, he would always tell me about it, right? And, you know, he would make money and I would be happy about it. You know, he would hit on a big investment. I would be happy about it. You know, he dropped his clothing company. I was happy about it. And I remember once he came to me and I guess he gave me some good news about it. He gave me some good news and he was like, yo, you know, this happened, blah, 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 blah. And I was genuinely happy. I'm like, yo, bro, my brother. And I gave him a hug. I'm so happy for you, man. I pray that God continues to bless you. And like, I sat there and I was genuinely like happy for my brother. And you know, he said to me that day, he said, you know what, Nano, you know, out of a lot of my friends, bro, like every time I tell you something positive and tell you that I won, you are always genuinely happy for me, bro. And you always celebrate me, bro. You post my business. You do all these things, bro. You promote it. You share with your friends. You almost act like it's your blessing. You almost act like it's yours in a way. Like, and I'm like, bro, it's because I'm happy for you, bro. Like at the end of the day, I may not have a viral clothing brand yet, but I one day want that for myself. So I'm going to be happy for you, my brother. Because that's what I want for me as well. So I want that. You feel me? So like, but I remember him telling me that, and I remember feeling the like this warmth in my heart that he recognized it. Because deep down inside, I was happy for him. But why is it? It's not just because, yes, of course, I'm happy for him because he has a viral clothing brand. Things are working out for him. He's making great investments. But like I said, is that I also want those blessings in my life as well. Why would I hate on him? Why would I talk down on him? Why would I be frustrated that those things are happening for him? That would be me letting God know, like, yo, I'm not ready for that blessing. I'm hating on this guy because he got these things. No, I'm happy for him. All right. You got to remember these things, guys. This is key information. The blessings and the promotions, they come from God's hands, not from people's approval. If I would have listened to the people that told me this wouldn't work, I would still be chilling on the block doing nothing with my life. You know how many people told me, Nano, you're wasting your time. Nano, go back to school. Nano, those things don't work. Nano, Bitcoin is a scam. Nano, 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 nano. So many people. You know how many people told me that crypto was a scam? And now Bitcoin has hit over 120,000. Imagine if I would have listened to them. You know how many people told me that I was wasting my time doing these mindset calls, that I should stop doing them and focus on my business, that nobody was going to jump on these calls? You know, people told me these things. Imagine if I would have listened to them. You know how many people told me, Nano, go back to school, go get a job. And it's not that I have nothing against jobs. I have nothing against jobs. I'm just up on opportunity. Imagine if I would have listened to them. I would have never been able to fulfill my true purpose in life. Because remember, friends and family won't support you until strangers start to celebrate you. Friends and family won't support you until strangers start to celebrate you. You know when I realized that quote was real? Is when I realized that quote was real. This was a tough time for me. I'll be real with you guys. The first time I dropped my clothing brand back in 2021, I realized when it was all said and done, I had over 500 orders. And did you guys know that out of 500 orders, 499 of them came from strangers? I have friends that I went to school with. I have teammates that I traveled all around the world with. I had family. I had everybody that I've known my whole life that come from the same neighborhood as me, that I've broken bread with, that I've celebrated them. I've done everything. I've been at their baby showers, everything. And not one of them supported me. Not even a coffee mug, which was like $10, I think. Not even a t-shirt. Not even a t-shirt. I've been there before. I know what it feels like. Now, I was still grateful though. You know why? Because I had 500 other strangers that celebrated me. So I couldn't focus on, but that was a hard pill to swallow. In all reality, still to this day, it still bothers me. I couldn't believe it. Like when I sat there and I realized, I'm like, yo, like, how is it possible that not one friend, not one family member supported me? This is all over social media too. Like this was promoted for weeks. I had a campaign for it, all of it. But that's how it is sometimes. That was one of the hardest pills I had to swallow in life. Realizing that sometimes the support that you're looking for from these people because here's the thing though, these are the people that I'm searching approval from. So that's what I want to saw on. These were the people that when I would think, yo, what are they going to think? What are they going to say? You know, what are their thoughts going to be like? And when I realized that, these people don't even care. Like they don't even support me. All these years, all these times I spent in thoughts, for me, that was a breakthrough for me, because then I finally realized, I'm like, yo, these people genuinely don't give a F. They don't care about me or about my business. Why do I care so much what they have to say? Why do I care so much what they have to think? Why do I worry before making a post on what these people got to say? I said, you know what? Enough is enough. From this point moving forward, I don't care what nobody has to say. One of my biggest breakthroughs came when I stopped caring about other people's approval. Because I realized that regardless, they weren't going to support me and they weren't going to be there for me. Biggest breakthrough came when I stopped caring about what other people had to say. And I just let them go. Still love them. Not saying I cut them off and I don't care about them. I still love them. But I realize I can't care what they have to say because they don't even care about my business. They'll post Bad Bunny. They'll post Beyonce. They'll post all these social media influencers. They'll post everything. But give Nano a follow. Give Nano a repost. Not even a repost. Not even a, hey, yo, my brother just dropped a clothing brand. Buy a t-shirt. Not even a repost. And you know what? We spend our days worried about what those people are going to say. How? We can't, guys. It's the unfortunate reality. And I pray that some of you guys don't have to experience it. Has anybody else experienced that, though? Has anybody else had that kind of experience? Put a 2 in the chat if you've ever had to experience something like that. I pray you never do. I really do pray that you guys have great experiences with people. And listen to me. If you're on this call, listen to me very closely with what I'm about to say after this. Make sure that you're not a reflection of them. Do not be a reflection of them. Don't do them the same way they did you, because that's where I come in now. You see, the thing is, if they do something, I support them. I'm not like them. If they drop a clothing brand, I'm the first one to buy a t-shirt. If they drop a song, I'm the first one to repost it on my story. I'm the first one to download the song. Be the bigger person. Take the higher road. Always. I'm like that. Do not fight revenge with revenge, or don't be that person. Be the bigger person. They didn't support you. That's fine. You'll still support them. Oh, they didn't show you love. That's fine. Still show them love. Oh, they didn't repost your business. You know what? That's fine. When their business comes out, you repost them. Be the bigger person. It's called taking the higher road. If you go and try to match their energy, then you're going to become a reflection of them, and you don't want to be a reflection of them. Show them by being the example. Because trust me, deep down inside, you don't think I wanted to be like, you know what? Nah, I'm not ever supporting them. I'm not ever showing them love. I'm not ever. And if I'm honest, I've had those thoughts many times. But then that voice inside, God tells me, be the bigger person, take the high road, support them, show them love, give them grace. And I do it. Because like I said, the reward comes from the master, not from the crowd. Who cares? You don't support me, that's fine. I'll support you. You don't want to show me love, that's fine. I'll show you love. I live at peace. I have all the support that I want. I got God in my side. My heart is full of love. I have no hate, no resentment in my heart. It's full of love. We're at peace over here, fam. Whatever you're fighting, I pray that God can heal you from that. But I'm going to show you love. I'm going to give you grace. I'm going to support you, even though you didn't do it for me. Learn to do that. I'm telling you, in life, you will be so much more of a better person if you did that for other people. Be the example. Be the example. Don't try to get even with people. Show people what it's like to be a good person. Because if you just match their energy, then you'll just be matching their energy and you'll just be a reflection of each other. And that's not going to make the world any better. But if you become the example, then maybe one day they'll realize that they were wrong and then they'll match your energy. And that's the key. So that's point number 2. The reward comes from the master, not the crowd. Number 3, and it kind of goes into what I was saying just now, is grace over fairness. Grace over fairness. In the parable, God shows grace to the workers, depending on how long or how hard they've been working. Sometimes God blesses somebody quickly to show us what's possible, but not to diminish our effort. I want you guys to write that one down, because I think you need to understand that. Sometimes God blesses someone else quickly to show us what's possible, not to diminish our effort. When I understood that, that was big for me. That was big for me. Let me explain to you guys why, especially me. I've seen people who were actually, here's the reality of it. I know people who were Mornings with Nano students years ago. Today they have global brands making hundreds and thousands and millions of dollars. Now, I'm very grateful for what I make, and I've made a lot, and I'm super grateful. All right. Now, has there been a time that I was frustrated? Like, yo, how is that possible? Like, damn. Like, yo, this girl, she was a student on Mornings with Nano, and now, she's doing amazing things. Like, like, how was it that, God was able to bless them so quickly, but me, I've been doing Mornings with Nano for 6 years. Sana's here with us. Sana, she could tell you guys, we've been rocking with this since 2019. But I had to understand that sometimes God blesses someone quickly to show you what's possible. I had to understand that. I had to understand that God was blessing people around me to show me what was possible for me. He didn't do it to diminish my effort. He sees that I've put in the work. It's just sometimes, listen to this, your wait is longer because your calling is higher. I'm going to repeat that again. Your wait is longer because your calling is higher. It's the part of the game. Sometimes you just got to wait a little longer. Your wait is longer because your calling is higher. Keep that in mind. You're called to do a lot more. So the thing is, your preparation process, you still got a lot to go. You still have more books to read. You still got more morning routines to do. You still got more goals to write. You have so much more to do. You're still in your preparation process, and that's fine. Embrace it, love it, appreciate it. If there's anybody that's had to appreciate his preparation process, it's been me. Because I'll be lying to you guys if I sat here and told you guys that I haven't had times where I was frustrated and stressed and worried and wondering whether, it was going to happen for me or not. But then I learned, no, the process is more important than the product. The process is more important than the product. Love the process. Love the process. The process is where the value, where the development. At the end of the day, we all know this. The journey is what brings happiness, not the destination. Okay, great, Nano, you got there. But that's not what brought you happiness. What brought me happiness was the process to get there. The fact that I was able to overcome all those challenges, the people that I met in the process, the books that I had to read, the challenges I had to overcome, the people that I had to let go of. That process is what brings you the real happiness. It's not going to be the destination. Because guess what? When you get to the destination, guess what you're going to want after that? You're going to be looking for the next destination. So it's never the destination that brings happiness. As a matter of fact, you'll be surprised, but if God was to give you the things that you wanted right now, if God was to come down right now and be like, okay, all 130 or 40 of us that we have on this call, boom, here you go. Everything you've wanted, there it is. You'll realize that now you have it all. Now what? You know what you're going to do? You're going to wonder, okay, what's next? You got here. Now what? Now I got to figure out what's next. I had a conversation with a retired CEO. He was in his 50s. And I was asking him, I'm like, yo, like what's one of the biggest lessons that you've learned over the years? You're retired, you got everything that you've ever wanted, so on and so forth. And you know what he told me? I'll never forget these words. He said, I wish I would have slowed down and enjoyed the process a little bit longer. He said, now I have everything. I got the house. I got the kids. I fly first class everywhere. I have the money in the banks. I have a real estate portfolio. You're like, I don't know what else to do anymore, Nano. He said, I miss the days when I was on fire. I miss those days, bro. He said, I wish I would have enjoyed the journey just a little bit longer. I was such in a rush to get here my whole life. I had this rush inside of me, like I had to get here immediately. And it was this rush and this sense of urgency to get there, to get there, to get there. And then I'm here and it's like, now what? He said, the best advice I could give you is enjoy the process, bro. Some processes will be long, some processes will be shorter, but enjoy your process. Because that's where the real value is. I'll never forget those words. Never forget those words. So you know what I'm doing nowadays? I'm enjoying my process even more. That's why I don't even really stress like that, to be honest. Like, do I go through situations that will cause people stress and, will cause people, all these things? Yes, of course, we all do. But I've learned to enjoy those things now. I don't know if that sounds crazy or not, but I've literally learned to enjoy the way life unfolds. Like, I've learned to find peace in these things. Like, I no longer get emotionally involved in the way things happen in my life. Like, I'm literally at peace with everything that happens in my life because I know that it's all going to work on in my favor. So that's point number 3. And then to wrap it up right here, guys, because I know it's about to be an hour on this call and I don't like to go more than an hour. Number 4 lesson I learned was focus on faithfulness, not on comparison. You see, the first workers, they lost their joy and their happiness because they looked sideways instead of forward. In leadership, comparison will drain your gratitude and slow your progress. Wow. Stay locked in on your own lane, fam. Give your best every day and let God handle the promotion schedule. You know what the problem with too many of us are? We're looking sideways to see who was blessed, to see where everybody's at. We're too focused on everybody else. We're way too focused on everybody else. We're looking sideways instead of looking forward. We're losing our gratitude and we're slowing our progress because we're comparing ourselves to everybody else. We spend our days, and here's the thing, social media has a big issue to do it because we spend our days comparing ourselves over and over and over and over and over again. We're doing it daily and it drains us instead of us being grateful for it all. Focus on faithfulness. Remember, give your best daily and let God handle the promotion schedule. When God says it's your time to be promoted, he'll promote you, Isabel. He'll promote you, Ricardo, Richard, Femi, TT, Tropical, Bam Bam, Pat, Eunice, Howard, Danielle, Anna, Zion, Alexis, Maria, Diana, Myra, APZ, Keita, all of you. Tia, Queen B, Eli. Let God handle the promotion schedule, fam. It's not up to us. Stop looking left, stop looking right, look forward. And let God handle the rest. All right, guys. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your days. The 4 lessons that we learned from the parable today are these 4 lessons. Number 1, everyone's journey starts at a different time, number 1. Number 2, the reward comes from the master, not the crowd. Number 3, grace over fairness. And number 4, focus on faithfulness, not on comparison. That right there wraps up today's call. I pray that every single one of you learned something valuable from this call today. Because let me tell you guys, I needed this call just as much as any of you guys. Trust me. This call was more for me than probably, if not just the same as for you. Because I needed this call. I'm listening to me train you guys and I'm like, damn, I wish I was on this call on the other side taking notes, right? Like, I wish I was on the other side, the one taking notes and listening to this message because I needed this. So if you got value from today, put a 444 in the chat. And with that being said, guys, that wraps it up. When do you go live? Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. You can hop on. 10:30 a.m. We go live. YouTube and Instagram. If you want to follow me on YouTube, you can follow me and subscribe to my channel at Mornings with Neno. Just look it up, Mornings with Neno, Neno. And yeah, that was really everything. That was everything, guys. So I pray you guys got value from today. I love teaching from the Bible. Like I said, every week I do my best. Eastern. I do my best to teach once or twice from the Word, so that way I could mix up the trainings. I think that based off of the season that I'm in my life right now, teaching from the Word is very key. Because the only way to, one of the ways to learn is to teach. And because I get a chance to teach you guys from all these different parables and all these different verses, I'm learning a lot. And I'm realizing that every story I choose to teach from, I need those trainings just as much as me. Because it's crazy, because I go into these trainings thinking about you guys, but then I'm hearing these trainings and then I realize that these trainings are as much for me as they are for you. All right, guys. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. We're very, very grateful for everybody that has subscribed. Make sure that you also like this video. Leave a comment below on what, your biggest takeaway was. We got some amazing things loading up for each and every single one of you. And then with that being said, that's really everything, guys. I'm going to do a little prayer. I do a little prayer at the end of every call. And then we'll wrap it up right there. So quick prayer, and let's just pray real quick, and let's pray to the Lord. Bow your heads. Let's pray. Father God, we want to say thank you so much for waking us up on this beautiful Tuesday morning. We made the wake up list today, so we know that you are not done working on us. Today, we learned a very valuable lesson, and we understood that the last will be first and the first will be last. And we understand that it doesn't matter when we start our journey, as long as we are on the journey is what's the most important, God. So we want to just say thank you, God, for your grace. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your protection. Thank you for always teaching us the lessons that we need to listen to at the exact time as well. Your alignment is always perfect. And now, moving forward, each and every single one of us, I speak on behalf of the community. We want to apologize if we ever looked left or if we ever looked right. We want to apologize if we ever compared ourselves to other. From now on, we're going to leave everything in your hands, Father, because you are in charge of the promotion schedule, not other people. And moving forward, we're going to do everything that's required for us to work on ourselves, to focus on our own race and make sure that we do all the work that's required to build a relationship with you, to build the kingdom and be the example that we want to see in the rest of the world. So thank you so much for this amazing lesson today. We love you so much and we appreciate you so much. You get all the praise and all the glory. In your name we pray. Amen. Amen, amen, amen. All right, guys. So that wraps it up. Beautiful prayer, by the way. That felt really, really good. And I'm just ready to just have a great day, guys. So I'm excited. I'll see you guys back here again tomorrow, same time, 10:30 a.m. I do my best to keep these trainings as short as possible, but for some reason they still go over an hour. So I do apologize if I go a little bit longer. My goal is always to do 45 minutes to an hour, but God just be speaking through me, right? So I love y'all. I appreciate you guys. Take this message with you. And remember, the last will be first and the first will be last. God bless you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your days. God bless you guys.